It's an interesting year to make predictions, to say the least. But our experts at Location 3 are willing to take on the challenge. Here's what we predict for 2021.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Suffice it to say that 2020 has been a year between the pandemic that has really rearranged a lot about how we go about our personal lives and certainly how we conduct business, to a seismic election this year, to many other things that have made 2020 one for the books, to say the least. But we're here to talk about 2021 and marketing predictions. So I have a couple really quick ones. First and foremost, 2021, the cookieless world is here. This has been talked about for a long time, but I think next year is really where we see the avalanche of moving away from third-party cookie tracking and targeting from a marketing and a media perspective into targeting around identities and users themselves. Folks like the Trade Desk have talked about this and made these shifts. Google is expected to follow suit, among many others. So we'll see what that looks like. But third-party cookies are going away, and I think 2021 is the year that they go away quickly. Secondly, from a business perspective, in general, I think you're going to see a lot of brands look to a more centralized model and consolidation of the agencies, third-party vendors, tools, platforms that they use. And I think there's a lot of benefit to this. I think the obvious reason, one reason for this is the results of the pandemic and how it shifted marketing. But I also think brands are seeking more unified data sets and better insights across all channels and marketing strategies and tactics. And I think this centralized model provides a better avenue for this, as well as kind of an obvious cost savings if done properly. So I think consolidation and centralization are going to be a theme for a lot of brands in 2021. And last but not least, I think from a marketing budget perspective, we're obviously seeing lower forecasts for Q1 of 2021 compared to what we looked at pre-pandemic. But I expect Q2 and Q3 to see a significant bounce back in the other direction. The old adage, you should never stop marketing, still rings true. And while some budgets may be pulled back compared to what they would be in a non-pandemic environment, I do expect Q2 and Q3 to be really, really strong and really hopefully provide a nice boost to the economy as a whole. So it's been a year. My personal hope is that live music comes back and comes back quickly in 2021. We'll all keep our fingers crossed for that. But in the meantime, I hope everybody has a safe, happy, and healthy holiday season, and we will see you in the new year.
As we know, COVID-19 has changed the world in so many ways. As it relates to new business, it has forced salespeople to learn how to master selling virtually. From a sales perspective, we are seeing businesses leverage resources and technology needed to adapt to this new virtual world. Here are some things that I expect to continue to grow in 2021 as we all adjust to this new virtual selling environment. First, virtual conferences and networking events. Our team has been able to meet and build great relationships with people in the industry over the last 9 months. I don't believe that there will be any in-person events or conferences anytime soon, so we all need to become really comfortable with this new way of engaging with people over video. Second, relationship building. The key to building great partnerships is taking time to nurture relationships. At Location 3, we take the time to get to know our prospects. Let's face it, nobody wants a high-pressure salesperson bombarding them over phone, email, or on LinkedIn. And last, creativity. I believe that salespeople are going to have to continue to sharpen their presentation skills in an effort to keep prospects engaged so that we can all avoid the Zoom fatigue. We all need to think outside the box because virtual selling is not going away anytime soon.
So we're here now, 2021, exciting to get into the new year. And I have a couple of predictions on my end. One would be the greater use of brands with content development. We've seen LinkedIn, Twitter get into stories with videos. Obviously, it's piggybacking off of the use of videos with TikTok and Instagram. And I just think that there's going to be a huge need to develop more video content. My second prediction is the continued discussion of consolidation in the space. Google and Apple have that search relationship that could be in jeopardy in the years to come. And with Apple's preparation with Applebot crawling, potentially looking at like a DuckDuckGo search engine would make sense for collaboration. I would love to see a Microsoft, Bing grow their search capabilities, and I wouldn't be shocked if Twitter would be a target for them, gives them more real-time search integration into Bing. So those would be my two predictions that I'd like to see happen.
All right, it's that time of year again. Prediction time for 2021. Seems a little bit silly to be maybe making predictions for anything, since any prediction from last year was completely thrown off by everything that happened in the world. But here goes. Let's focus on the digital marketing world. A couple predictions. One, some stuff is going to happen with just privacy and cookies and what we're tracking and what we're allowed to track and measure and all those kind of fun things. So I think it's going to be a little bit harder unless you're a big platform like a Google or a Facebook to be able to offer some of these marketings. I feel like some of these, maybe these DSPs might get caught in some governmental restriction battles, but then again, maybe it will be Google and Facebook that get caught in that. So a lot of unknowns just in the world of targeting as it relates to digital marketing. The other prediction I have is that more and more local media will be able to be bought and managed programmatically. In a not too distant future, I'm going to go ahead and say that pretty much any media you want to buy and be in market, digital out of home, regular out of home, TV, radio, mail, everything will be able to be bought through some clicks in an interface and measured and really leverage the power of technology to be able to market locally. So that's definitely something that we're keeping our eye on here at Location 3. And those are my two big predictions. So a little bit of chaos as it relates to targeting, coupled with, and these are kind of almost opposite predictions here, coupled with access and efficiency in actually buying some other local media.
Hi there. It is that time of the year again for predictions. If 2020 taught us anything, it's that we shouldn't be bothering making these predictions. But in keeping with tradition, let's see if we can get some things right for 2021. Obviously, we're moving into this new cookieless world. I think everybody can agree that privacy is top of mind. I think we're going to see cookies go by the wayside really fast. And the brands that have been investing in shoring up their first-party data, understanding how this is going to impact their business, it's going to feel like a blip on the radar, and they're going to come out the other side strong. I think there's some brands that maybe haven't made the right kind of investment in understanding that information yet, and they may struggle a little bit more. But either way, we're all going to be impacted, especially in the digital space, by no longer having this cookie tracking. I think along those same lines, privacy is going to become even more of a conversation with the everyday user. They're going to understand what privacy means, how their data is being used, and I think they're going to come a little closer to the chest with sharing that information. And it's kind of up to us as marketers to help them understand that we are respectful of how we're using that data, and then keep to our promises to use that data in the most meaningful and respectful way possible. And then my big thing is I really want to travel again. I'm really excited to get out there, see some new folks, see some new cities, and experience some new things. So I think, at least I hope, travel and tourism and things evolving around that industry really see a boom, hopefully Q2, Q3. I think we could do some really, really cool things like with digital out of home. When we start to see people just influx back into cities, public transportation, and travel through flight, things like that, I think we'll see the potential to really get in front of customers in a really fun and engaging way through things like digital out of home. So ultimately, I hope 2021 brings more stability for folks, a lot of health and happiness, and a lot of really great cheer for the holiday season leading into the new year. I wish you all the very best.
Our team of local marketing experts is taking the lead in an ever-changing digital world. See what we can do for your brand.